ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Laying down the law. With Steve Foster, Rod Chico Tanner, and Ryan Willett.
Good morning. It is that time again. We land on an interesting day today as it is the Halloween date of October 31st. My best friend Herb Warden's birthday. Big shout out to him. Also to a guy that Chris Fernandez knows a little bit, Coach Sam Hughes of the Eastwood Troopers, our freshman and sophomore year head coach and also varsity coach. He also sharing the 31st. So, Chris, got to do some trick or treat for this show. You know, always having an addition and theming it throughout the entire season in the year. So we're going to do trick or treat for today. You know, trick is going to be not so good or what have you. Treat is going to be definitely the one and only. So trick or treat right off the top. Dak Prescott, does he play trick or treat today against the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, you know, I think he plays. How well he plays, I'm not sure. It just depends. The Vikings, I'm not really familiar with how they're doing this year. I haven't really paid attention to it, but yeah, I think Dak plays.
So you're going to go with treat?
I'm going to go with treat.
I would say trick because I think I would start Cooper Rush and have Dak available.
I don't understand your thought process there, Mr. Foster. Please explain.
Well, I think the Cowboys can get by and save Dak one more week if they. And I know they've had 2 weeks, and I recognize that. Nonetheless, because he had a bye week and then he had a week to get ready for the Vikings. But I rest him. I like Cooper Rush to come in. You got to run against this Vikings defense. And with the full complements of the two tight ends, Jarwin and Schultz, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, the ability, and you may get Michael Gallup back, but the ability to throw to the running backs out of the backfield. I don't think it's going to be no less of a shootout whether you have Dak or not, but it is going to be a difference for the Cowboys and the faithful. So I don't know. I don't think Dak is as beat up as they say, but for some reason I was just feeling trick on that one. So, okay, fair enough.
In a lot of ways, that makes sense to me, Steve. If you can get by in a game without using him, let him rest one more week in case he is as beat up as they say he is. Yeah, I agree with you. Then let him rest and go with your second. It's odd this year. This is an odd year for me. Being my first fantasy year, I find myself cheering for the Cowboys, where I would never have done that in the past, since I have some of them on my roster. So. In that sense,
so you're like torn by the fantasy play.
I am torn by yes, absolutely. So an odd year for me this year.
Trick or treat. Deshaun Watson gets moved before the trade deadline next week.
I'm going to go with trick.
So you think the Texans keep him and you just, hey, it is what it is. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, I think I just don't think it's going to happen. They're going to keep him for the rest of the season, and then just let it play out and see what happens at the end of the year.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with you on that one. I think I'm going to go Trick on that one. I don't know if they can figure it all out before next week. So Tuesday's coming quick. It's actually, if you look at Sunday being the first day of the week, they got 2 days anyway. So their clock's ticking. Trick or treat. Astros win tonight. Make this a full-fledged series against the Braves.
Well, I watched the game last night, Steve, and they had it. They were in the top of the fifth. They were up 2-1 or 2-0, and I thought for sure, it was going to go their way. And then come at the end of the game, and I'm looking at it, and they're losing, and they lose. That's a hard one. I mean, Atlanta is playing good baseball. They're still in Atlanta, right, for tonight's game. You know what? I'm going to say Trick. I'm going to say treat. I want the Astros to win, extend the series, and come home and win it.
Okay, I'm going to go with you on that one. I'm going to go treat with you on that one as well, and we'll just see. It's tough. You're right. Can't give up those late inning runs, and they have not been productive in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Close, but close doesn't count. It gets you 1-run loss, and that's what happened last evening. Trick or treat. UT football, the defensive coordinator or somebody on the defensive side of the ball must go.
I'm going to say Trick. I agree. Something's got to happen. I mean, you've got all these fourth quarter losses, and I was talking to a gentleman last night when I was pumping gas. He was wearing a Baylor jersey, and I hadn't had a chance to watch the game, but I asked him how to go. He said, they beat them. He goes, the problem with Texas is they don't know how to work. They have no fourth quarter game, and I don't get it. Some of the fundamentals of tackling, Steve, it's like, where did it go, and where does it go in the second half and the fourth quarter for these
have they ever had it in the last?
They never do. I mean, and that's the thing that I understand is we're at a level where, come on, guys, tackling is fundamental, and we're not doing it. So I'm going to say Trick. Someone's got to go. Someone's got to come in and make it happen on the defense.
I agree with you. There's no reason why you lose with that offense. Somebody should be able to scheme up a defense to keep those wins preserved. The offense has done its job. It's not. I'm going to agree with you on that one. It's unfortunate. I'll give you one close to home. Scott Frost in Nebraska, just in the tank. I know the faithful, the Big Red has done great, but I think Scott Frost on the hot seat. I think I'm not particular to the quarterback selection. I understand the records and throwing for the passing yards, but passing yards and winning football games as a quarterback are two different things. Scott Frost gone after this season. Trick or treat.
Based on the way the season's gone and the offense's struggles they've had, I'm going to say Trick. He's going to go.
I think Scott's a great guy. Did well in Oregon, did well at UCF. Sometimes when you come home, man, it's tough. I'm going to say Trick as well. I don't like the Adrian Martinez call. I don't care about the numbers. It's crunch time. It's clutch time when I need my quarterback to do what they need to do. And I think their defense has played well enough, but I think the offense, and that leadership has cost them games.
And that's what I was going to point out to you, Steve. In that position as a quarterback, there's got to be a sense of leadership. There's got to be a sense of guidance where the team follows you, where you've got their support. They know they've got yours, and I just don't see it's there right now for them.
Yeah, and I think that's if you really didn't think that the quarterback was a big enough position that it makes a difference, you're seeing it on a level. Because you see what happened to Oklahoma. They even replaced a guy that was 15-2. Kind of like Jalen Hurts in Alabama. He got replaced by Tua.
Yep.
So, that position is marquee. given that, do the Bucks beat the Saints in NOLA tonight, this afternoon?
Without a doubt, I think that they walk in there and they win the game. I don't think that the New Orleans Saints have the tools to go against Tom Brady and the Bucks and pull out a win. So I think the Bucks take it.
I think you're absolutely correct, Chris. And it's hard to beat Tom Brady. He's the ultimate. Who would you dress up as if you were going to be out trick-or-treating today?
It's funny you say that, and this is an oddity for me, or for a lot of people. I have never been a Halloween guy,
right?
Even when I was a kid. But if I was going to dress up today, I'd do Superman.
Really?
Yeah, he's my superhero.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So one of our esteemed laying down the law fantasy football members would appreciate your comment. I'm going straight Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's a done deal for me. I got the costume. I almost put it on, but I said, you know what? Let me go with the orange and black for the Halloween edition. Princeton undefeated. They beat Cornell on Friday night, 38-16. Hats off to my guy, Bob Serace, the head coach. And we used to be called pumpkin heads because at one point we just had an orange with a black stripe down the middle, went kind of just took emblems off and everything. And so the pumpkin heads doing the do. You have a favorite Halloween movie or I'm not a big horror guy. But
I'm not a big horror guy, but all these commercials and trailers for the new Halloween movie. You and I grew up watching Halloween, Michael Myers, that story, and I'm a little intrigued by that. And I keep telling myself I want to go see that movie, but I'm going to go see it. If I do, I was going to see it in the afternoon so that I can forget about it by the time I go to sleep.
Mine, the one that I like, The Shining. That one was a good one, and I can watch it. Jack Nicholson, one of the greatest actors
Classic.
of all time. That's the one that not a big Freddy guy, not a Chucky guy. Although Chucky has a whole different meaning now.
Chucky has his own series now. That's true, and Chucky has its own meaning now. You're absolutely right.
So anyway, it is a Halloween edition. Lots to get into. I'm going to say Astros, let's extend this series. UT is definitely in trouble. Bring it on water. I think Nebraska is sunk. And there's going to be some interesting matchups in the NFL and the NBA season. Spurs beat the defending champions last night, lose to the Mavericks, which hurt me. But, our buddy and your former teammate, Mark Monday, part of the Mavericks organization, I'm sure he had a smile. So we're going to step aside. We're going to come back. It is the Halloween edition of Laying Down the Law, and that is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We'll be back. San Antonio has two Hop Dottie locations. Hi, I'm Steve Foster. One at the Rim and the new location at the Vineyard, 1301 North Loop, 1604 West. And the initial San Antonio location at 17623 La Cantera Parkway, Suite 101 at the Rim. Different and delicious burgers with fresh and all-natural ingredients. Hop Dottie also has handcrafted milkshakes and hand-cut Kennebuck fries. So get to a Hop Dottie in San Antonio. When burger is life, life is awesome.
Hey, sports bettors, I'm talking to you. This is Rob Thompson here to tell you about my favorite sports book. That's BetUS. Football's here. You need to be playing it. It's been a great couple of weeks. Why not start now? Well, BetUS is the best place to start because they've been around for 25 years. That's the integrity I'm looking for with the longevity. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, you name it. They've got it. To join, it's so easy. Call today, 1-800-79-BET-US. Again, 1-800-79-BET-US. And when you dial it, remember this, KZDC. If you tell them KZDC, that's us, you're going to get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody does that. I bet at BetUS, so should you. I want you to join BetUS.com today. Call them right now. Start betting with America's favorite sportsbook, and remember to use KZDC for up to 200% in bonuses. BetUS.com. It's where the game begins.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill serves great cooking with an innovative take on classic American comfort food. For over 10 years now, Chuck and Larry have delighted appetites and presented one of the best Sunday brunches ever at 303 Red River in Austin. Go by and enjoy some corn dog shrimp, cornflake chicken salad, broiled rainbow trout, and all my favorites and more. Moonshine classic American comfort food. And of course, when you see Chuck and Larry, tell them Falsetto up. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill.
Laying Down the Law is brought to you by Texas Spine Care Center, Cover 3 San Antonio, Coordinated Financial Group, and Hop Dottie Burger Bar.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
We are back. It is a Halloween edition of Laying Down the Law. He is Chris Fernandez. I'm Steve Foster. And we're going to continue with the trick-or-treat mode. I know Chris is not a big Halloween guy. You know, I can take it or leave it now, but no worries. I did enough to where I have to own up to it. Let's talk some trick-or-treat. A guy who's from this area of Texas, Baker Mayfield, says he's playing against your Pittsburgh Steelers today. Trick-or-treat.
Trick or treat for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's hard to say. You know, this is a game, and I say this all the time. When Pittsburgh plays someone within their division, and I don't care who it is, it's always a tough game. Those games are always tough, and especially with the Cleveland Browns. I've always said that in the past, they've always played to the level of their opponent. And in the past with the Cleveland Browns, they would play down, and they would end up coming close to losing. Now that the Cleveland Browns are producing some good football on both sides, I don't know. It could go either way, to be honest with you. Of course, I'd like to see a treat for the Steelers and have them pull it out, but it's hard to say with those two teams. So I'm going to can I defer?
You're going to skip that house?
You're going to
skip that house?
I'm going to skip. Yeah, I'm going to skip that house. It scares me.
I was going to say, you know, trick on this Baker thing. I know he wants to play. But his non-throwing arm, you know, he's going to make it through the season. They pay him to play. You know, if he can make all of the progressive commercials and people get him on him about that, okay. We'll go. I'm going to go. Oh, Browns. Browns. I'm going to go
it's
treat.
It's always a tough one.
I'm going to go treat.
Huh?
I'm going to go treat. I'm going to stay true to my guy from Lake Travis. Let's go trick or treat. This is an interesting one. The Battle of the Lakes next Friday. Trick or treat. Westlake, Lake Travis. Westlake has owned them of late, but not. Coach Hank Carter has really dealt with Baker Mayfield in the mix. Dealt Westlake a lot of blows.
I'm gonna go with Westlake. I mean, how do you go against them? That is an organization that year in, year out produces great athletes, good games every Friday. You got to stick with them.
Going trick on that one on your Westlake Chaparrals. I'm gonna go, and I don't do upsets too often, but I think 9 beats 1. I think 9 beats 1 on that one. I'm gonna say
that's a reach. That's a stretch there, Mr. Foster.
Well, I mean, those top, Galena Park, North Shore, and Duncanville, and other teams in that top 10. Katy,
could happen, huh?
Can happen.
All right, we'll have to see how that one goes then.
Fair enough. Let's get back to the NFL. As I digress, Dolphins, Bills. Tua played extremely well last week, but he's going up against Josh Allen.
Josh Allen and the Bills. I can't bet against Josh Allen and the Bills this year. They took it to my Steelers. Steelers pulled it out, but they're playing, and so I just can't go against them.
So that is a treat for the Bills, a trick for the Dolphins, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Trick or treat on the Rams, Texans.
I'll go with the Rams. I mean, the Rams. That is a team that.
So the Texans get the trick on that one, huh?
Texans get the trick. Yeah, the Rams get the treat. Definitely.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think Matthew Stafford reinvigorated that offense.
Love
reinvigorated himself,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a completely different team. Jared Goff can see how tough it can be in Detroit, and he's suffering for it.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best move Stafford could have ever made, was going to the Rams. It fits him. It fits his style of play, and I think they pull it off. So treat for the Rams today.
One that I think is very lopsided, but it would have been a very interesting matchup if Zach Wilson didn't get hurt, is the Bengals Jets. And you got to talk about a team that's orange and black on the Halloween edition. I think the Bengals surprise team of the season right now, and I go treat for the Bengals. And Joe Flacco, even though he was at one point at the top in the NFL of quarterbacks, I don't think he can help this Jets team today.
I agree with you. I have to go treat for the Bengals. Who can bet against orange and black on Halloween Day? And plus they're playing good football this year. It's one of those. There's one of those teams that I never liked when my Steelers play them either. So treat for the Bengals.
Okay, you didn't go with the Browns that kind of have that same color, but let's try this one for you with orange Montoff in the Washington football team and the Broncos. Got to get to the orange teams today.
That's a tough one. I'm going to have to go treat for the Broncos.
They're at home.
Yeah, the Washington football team.
Up a little bit. You believe in Teddy Bridgewater at home. They got the colors for the most part. I know it's blue and not black, but it's orange. And you pumpkins. You got to go with the pumpkin color on the Halloween scenarios. And I believe now. I don't think Jekyll and Hyde goes with Halloween per se. It's interesting, it's a little haunting of say, but what's haunting is the Kansas City Chiefs. They play Monday night against the Giants. Is there any consternation about trick or treat for Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick got knocked around last week. I think he went through concussion protocol, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I heard that he'd be ready to go. I think the Kansas City Chiefs bounce back and get the win. Treat.
Okay, I'm with you there. The Giants, not very good, having to go on the road.
That's a tall order.
That's a tall order. Even though they're getting a couple of their wide receivers back off of some list, either COVID or injury list, and should be in the lineup. But I think probably too much. Now, the Kansas City defense has been a trick over these first 7 games. But, I still think they get it done as well.
I've got one for you, Steve. Stepping away from the NFL, we have the Steel Pack versus Black Lives Matter in the ESPN laying down the law fantasy league. Trick or treat.
Is there any doubt, man? I was gonna wait to do this, but I think I gotta go. I think I gotta go with it right now, just because of what you just did. So here it is. This year, Halloween fell on a weekend. Me and laying down was trick or treating, robbing little kids for bags. Till this old man got behind our rags. I'm gonna tear you apart today, Chris Fernandez, just for bringing it up. I was trying to be Switzerland and neutral, but the Ghetto Boys, rest in peace, Bushwick Bill. But yeah, I'm going all over you today. I may throw this one out again. Yes. Treat to Black Lives Matter.
All right, and we'll see how the day ends on Monday night.
It's gonna be fun, man.
I was just gonna say, I have come back on the last day and won by 1 point.
Yes, and it couldn't have happened to any better person than Paulie Greco.
My good friend Paulie Greco. Mr. Fantasy.
At one time he was one of the top 2-3 guys in the country for fantasy.
And that's why I was so excited that I beat him.
Yes, and
didn't beat him bad, but I did beat him. Yes.
Do you have to beat somebody bad? No, you just got to beat them.
That's true. That's true, and I did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Let's step away. Interesting that you brought that up. I like that, but it had to be brought up. We couldn't. That would have been the 800-pound gorilla in the room, right? So,
I heard him say, "Chris who? Chris who?" last week. So this is Chris that beat you, Paulie.
That's who Chris is, right?
That Chris is.
If you don't know who Chris is, you know who Chris is now. Steel Pack 115.
Steel Pack. There you go.
New York Smack Talkers 114. That was just crazy.
I heard no smack talk that week. None at all.
I know.
It was
crickets. Quiet. As they do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to step aside. We're going to come back with our first guest, Drew Stubbs. And it's going to be some baseballers, major leaguers in town, doing a clinic, having some fun next weekend. So we will say this weekend is for the Ghosts and Goblins. Next weekend is for the 5-tool bats and batsmen and basemen. So we're going to step aside. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We'll be back right after this. Texas Spine Care Center and Dr. Adam Brueggemann are committed to treating chronic back pain and helping patients understand and make informed decisions about orthopedic treatment. They focus on using the latest techniques, medicines, and practices to give their patients the best treatment options to manage and overcome pain. Texas Spine Care Center is committed to helping San Antonio find the best choices that will give you your life back. So call 210-941-1785 or go to TexasSpineCareCenter.com. 210-941-1785.
Wake up to Wendy's and get a bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. Made with fresh cracked eggs and served on a hot buttery croissant that's fluffy enough to sleep on. It's time to wakey wakey. Hit the Wendy's drive-thru and get your bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. That's a better breakfast for just $1.99. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery prices may vary. Not valid in the combo.
Life is already full of surprises, but your tuition shouldn't be one of them. While education costs rise in the U.S. every year, University of Phoenix is committed to protecting you from rising tuition costs with our tuition guarantee. We lock in your tuition so you can count on fixed, affordable tuition from the moment you enroll to the day you graduate from your program. Learn more at phoenix.edu.
Cover 3 at Stone Oak in San Antonio is the place to be, whether you're looking to gather coworkers for lunch, dine with friends, or treat your sweetie to a fabulous dinner. This elegant restaurant offers ample seating with comfortable leather booths, tall cocktail tables, along with full-service dining at the bar, or you can enjoy a fun time out on the patio. So come to Cover 3 and experience dining, spirits, and sports.
Cover 3, 1806 North 1604 West, 210-479-9700.
Like a lot of women these days, Mackenzie Tudor knew exactly what she wanted in an engagement ring.
I'm a big fan of Pinterest. I've been studying this for years.
She wanted a pear-shaped diamond in a certain designer setting, but became frustrated quickly when most jewelers just didn't have it.
You can go in a lot of diamond stores and they don't have the pear shape. They may have one option. They may have two if you're lucky.
Then she and her boyfriend Tim found Diamonds Direct, with one of the largest selections of loose diamonds in America in stock every day.
Diamonds Direct had more than dozens of the exact size and shape of diamond that I was looking for.
And because Diamonds Direct carries all the top bridal designer lines, names like Verragio and Simon G, finding the ideal setting was just as easy.
The styles at Diamonds Direct, they go right along with Pinterest. They are exactly what every girl's looking for.
Diamonds Direct, the exact diamond you want, the designer ring you've been dreaming of. No compromise necessary.
I can't say enough about how many compliments I get on my ring from Diamonds Direct every day.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Laying Down the Law is brought to you by Texas Spine Care Center, Cover 3 San Antonio, Coordinated Financial Group, and Hop Dottie Burger Bar.
We're back. We're laying down the law. It is a Halloween edition. As yes, this year Halloween fell on a weekend. And we're going to go to the phone lines, talk to a gentleman now who knows Central Texas. He's from Texas. Been around the major leagues for a while, and now is part of Still Got the Game Foundation, who is coming to Central Texas, Austin in particular, and specifically for a baseball clinic. So we want to talk a little bit with Drew Stubbs. Drew, good morning and welcome to Laying Down the Law.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. So I figured out Atlanta, Texas, and versus Chris's and my hometown of El Paso, Texas, just for the passerby, about 800 miles difference of where we started it all.
It's funny, people hear you're from Texas and they just, may be from any given state that you can get from one end to the other fairly quickly. And I think when I was a kid, somebody told me one time that where I grew up in the northeast corner of the state, it was closer to drive to Chicago than it was to El Paso. So there you have it.
Yes, sir. You would have been all day in that vehicle trying to get to us, but we're collaborating now. Thanks for the time. Y'all are doing an amazing thing, gathering up and together with RBI Austin for a free clinic. But before we talk about what you're going to do, next weekend. You have forged a relationship due to your profession with the Houston Astros skipper Dusty Baker when you were, I believe, both in Cincinnati. And tell us a little bit about Dusty. I watched him as a kid play. I always thought he was a lot of fun, and he's going to have to do a few things so the Astros can get back on track. But your thoughts about Dusty Baker, the man and the player and the manager?
Well, as you referenced, Dusty was at the helm at Cincinnati when I made my major league debut back in 2009. And, our team that year when I got called up was not very good, but 2 out of the next 3 years in 2010 and 12, we won the NL Central and ended up losing the first round of the playoffs, but, had a bunch of talented young guys and a guy that steered the ship that, allowed us to play free and easy and put our best foot forward. So, Dusty means a lot to me in the formation of my major league career. Not only did he give me my first opportunity, but, as a young player, baseball is such a game of failure. You have a lot of doubts and, you tell yourself and you believe that you belong there. But for me, I was the center fielder for Dusty, and he would tell me in a time of struggle or slump that, hey, man, keep going. I'm going to keep running you out there every day. Even if you're not getting hits, you're flagging down fly balls and anchoring my defense for me. So, I owe a lot of the foundation of my career to him. And like you said, we forged a great relationship. I mean, he's one of the few guys that have managed so many teams that has kept a great perspective of how hard the game is as a player and how to relate to players and keep a perspective of the players. Because, today's game is so analytical and frankly, a lot of the guys, get kind of fit into a box of more like a cog in the machine or a robot, and you're expected to go out there and produce day in, day out, and you lose a lot of the human element of the game. I think Dusty's always kept a great perspective, like I said, on that. And I think that's why you see a lot of his players respond to that and play hard and play well for him.
Talking with Drew Stubbs, former major league outfielder, center fielder in particular. Drew, and I say this, and the show says this to parents that have a lot of student athletes and youth, boys and girls. What other sports did you play? Because we emphasize and stress play more than one sport if you can, please.
Yeah, and I'll preface this comment by saying that I grew up in a town of about 7,000 people, and it was a 3A high school before 6A was created. So I don't think that I would have necessarily been able to do this had I been at a Big 5 or now 6A school. But I played 4 sports: football, basketball, baseball, and track until the day that I graduated high school. I earned 13 varsity letters across those 4 sports, getting 3 years in each of those and a 4th year in baseball, making varsity as a freshman, a little bit into the year. But I look at my trajectory of my career path, and it was definitely forged by the different skill sets and attributes that I gained from other sports, probably equally, if not more, than playing baseball a lot. And, I think parents face a dilemma today because, like you said, these organizations and just norms of social behavior in youth sports is that, if you're playing baseball, you need to be playing 9 months out of the year or 100 games or whatever it is, or else you're going to get left behind. And I think that is just complete BS because, I look back at prior to my senior year in high school, I probably spent less time on the baseball field practicing and playing than I did any other sport. And that was just the virtue of in the fall, it was football and football alone, and then transition into basketball. And in the spring, I had a football off-season weight program. I had track practice that came before baseball because our athletic director was our head football coach. And, the track workouts were going to help the following football season more than the baseball practice would. And so many, many days I would get out to baseball practice on a Monday afternoon at 5:00, and the team would be finishing up, and my coach would stick around and hit me some fly balls and throw me some batting practice, and I'd call it a day. So granted, I did play all summer, kind of dedicated to baseball, and baseball was always my favorite, and knew that if I had an opportunity to continue on with that, that was going to be the path that I chose, and it worked out, fortunately. But all this being said, I encourage all kids, all parents to expose yourselves to as much as you can, and you can draw a lot of benefits rather than just putting yourself in a box, for the next several years looking forward.
Thank you for that. We certainly appreciate that greatly, mightily. Drew, it leads us into the fact of the clinic and you being able to gather with some other major leaguers and giving back and paying it forward this next weekend at Parque Zaragoza in Austin, Texas. Very excited to meet y'all out there. Still got the Game Foundation. Tell us about that before we let you go.
Yeah, so as a major league player, I think there's many of us throughout our career that one recognized that we had a unique platform to reach our community, and two, to make an impact given that platform. And we all tried to exercise that as much as we could while we played. And then one day your career is over and you're no longer an active player. But that desire to reach out and affect the community is still there. And Melissa Prasad, who runs the Still Got Game Foundation, was the head of our Players Trust, which is our charitable arm of the Players Union, for many years. And when Melissa left, I think, she had ambitions to continue that mission and mindset. And a bunch of us, or myself and a few guys are a little ahead of me, kind of had that void to fill and wanted to stay involved to that capacity. So to Melissa's credit, she spun off and, integrated a lot of the similar programs that we had been doing with the Players Trust. And, now with the Still Got Game Foundation, it enables a lot of us former guys to do free city clinics, to do some financial literacy programs, some educational programs, kind of in our home markets, if you will. We're going to continue to do stuff affiliated with Major League Baseball and maybe the All-Star Game once everything kind of normalizes in a post-COVID world. But it's just a great way for us to continue to give back to the community, to make an impact on some of the inner city youth and people who need mentorship and programs to steer them in the right direction. And this particular one, I've been involved with RBI Austin for about 10 years. Basically the life of the program's been in place, and Matt Price and Christy Recker, who are running that, do incredible things. And we're getting ready to fund a dedicated facility on the east side of Austin for these kids so that they have shelter after school and a place to go and, get guidance and get food and get mentorship. And I think this clinic coming up next weekend is just going to be, a great event coupling two great organizations.
And Drew, that's going to be for youth 8 to 14 years of age at Parque Zaragoza, 2608 Gonzalez Street in Austin, Texas. I used to coach there. It's the Greater East Austin Youth League. And I was also there, I think, when Reckless Kelly helped dedicate a field, a new field about 4 years ago for that. I was out there with some other folks, and it was a lot of fun. So I commend you and thank you for being a part of that. I enjoyed coaching there in the late 90s and being a part of that organization. And now let people know that youth can come and enjoy the clinic and have folks like you and Kenny Lofton, Torrey Hunter. Man, y'all are primo Major League Baseball players. No doubt. That's not buttering anybody's bread. That's truth. And again, a lot of great baseball players from around the area, but it's great to see you. And Melissa and I are alums, so cannot forsake that responsibility. And she was an athlete herself, and she gets it. So happy to be of assistance to y'all, and look forward to having you say hello and do what you do for the youth of this area. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anybody else listening, if you want to find out more about the Still Got Game Foundation, you can go to stillgotgamefoundation.org or on Twitter or Instagram at stillgotgame, just to give you some more information. So thank you guys for having me on, and look forward to seeing you out there next weekend.
Absolutely, Drew. Enjoyed it. Appreciate it. Thank you for taking time. We know you're busy in the schedule. And again, we appreciate you doing what you're doing to help others from your position. And sports and athletics is definitely one that attracts a lot of people, especially our youth. And we can't thank you enough for what you've done. And we do look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you for the time today.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Drew, one last question, though. What would you be costume-wise for Halloween? Who would you go as?
Well, this is really not even a speculative question. My 3-year-old daughter has said since the summer, since she, we started asking her, she gets so excited about Halloween, and she's been very consistent that she wants to be a lion. So my wife found her a lion costume, and kind of continuing the tradition over the last couple of years. I've got a 1-year-old son now, and my wife and I try to keep the theme going. So later today, we will be trick-or-treating as a pride of lions.
Nice.
I like that.
The things you do to, encourage participation and excitement from your kids are, things that you might not have expected, but do what you got to do.
Hey, Drew, one last question. This is Chris. I can't let you go before I ask you, Astros or Braves?
Well, clearly after last night, the Braves are in the driver's seat. I'd be remiss if I said that I follow baseball throughout the year anywhere remotely as close as I did playing or coming out of it. I don't. But what I do know is, I was victim as a player to teams that snuck into the playoffs who weren't the best all year and got hot at the right time. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. And I think both of these teams came into this series, especially the Braves not being one of the better teams in baseball, but they're playing great right now. Obviously, they got one more game at home before the series would possibly come back to Houston. But I said all along, I think this series is so even that I personally expected the games to be back and forth all the way to a game 6 or game 7. If you watched the game last night, I think the Braves hit the 2 late back-to-back home runs, or else the Astros were kind of in control of that game, and it would be 2-2 right now. So I think the Astros win tonight. They get it back to Houston, and from there, it's kind of anybody's series. You can kind of flip a coin and see who's going to get the breaks, but hopefully we'll see it go to 7 and be competitive.
Drew, thank you. We appreciate the time. All right, we're going to step aside. We're going to come back. Stay with us. More to come right here on San Antonio Sports Start, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM.
San Antonio has 2 Hop Dottie locations. Hi, I'm Steve Foster, one at the Rim and the new location at the Vineyard, 1301 North Loop 1604 West, and the initial San Antonio location at 17623 La Cantera Parkway, Suite 101 at the Rim. Different and delicious burgers, but fresh and all-natural ingredients. Hop Dottie also has handcrafted milkshakes and hand-cut Kennebuck fries. So get to a Hop Dottie in San Antonio. When burger is life, life is awesome.
I'm Dr. Torres with the Institute for Functional Health, San Antonio's original holistic health clinic. Holistic does not mean complementary or alternative. It means we look at the whole picture. We've changed thousands of lives, and your overall health is our passion.
I no longer have to take sleeping pills, no blood pressure medication, or cholesterol pills. My insurance changed from high risk to standard.
I take 0 medications and said goodbye to sinus infections. I finally feel normal.
I no longer have anxiety attacks and have stopped taking pre-diabetic medication and sleeping pills.
I've lost 30 pounds, have more energy than ever before, have no pain, and my labs are perfect.
When things seem out of control, the one thing that we can control is your health. You will have a customized doctor-supervised wellness plan that gets to the root of the problem instead of masking symptoms. You get results, not refills. At the Institute for Functional Health, your overall health is our passion. Call 210-468-1891 for your free consultation. 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Panera believes in saying yes. Yes to clean, fresh ingredients. Yes to the new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread topped with rich mozzarella. Yes to delicious mac and cheese. Yes to putting it on a sandwich, creating the grilled mac and cheese sandwich. And yes to impromptu road trips to Sandwich, Illinois. Because that's living life to the flavor fullest. Get $1 delivery when you order on our app. Panera. Live your yes. Pricing and product availability may vary. Visit PaneraBread.com.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill serves great cooking with an innovative take on classic American comfort food. For over 10 years now, Chuck and Larry have delighted appetites and presented one of the best Sunday brunches ever at 303 Red River in Austin. Go by and enjoy some corn dog shrimp, cornflake chicken salad, broiled rainbow trout, and all my favorites and more. Moonshine classic American comfort food. And of course, when you see Chuck and Larry, tell them falsetto up. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill.
Laying Down the Law is brought to you by Texas Spine Care Center, Cover 3 San Antonio, Coordinated Financial Group, and Hop Dottie Burger Bar.
Back from break. It is a Halloween edition. I'm going to go to the phone lines to talk to co-host and governor of the South Texas District of the AAU, Rod Chico Tanner. Chico, happy Halloween. It is the Halloween edition.
There you go. Well, out on the pitch again, and halftime we're up 1-0. So
there you go.
Hopefully no comeback needed in the second half. Hope we don't get down. We're playing pretty good. But more exciting news: we have pretty much wrapped up the regular season of the Texas AAU Youth Football League. We had our big state cheer championship last week. Crowned the grand champion Killeen Co. Chiefs. Congratulations to them. We had 31 squads competing, and it was exciting at Eastview High School in Georgetown. Appreciate Georgetown ISD and all their support. And we had the all exciting parent coaches competition as well. It was exciting, and congratulations to the CTX Grey Wolves. Their parents took home the gold, so that was exciting. And we also finished out the season, so we crowned our North and South Conference champions and number one seeds going into the playoffs. And the 6U for the South was the Killeen Co. Chiefs, and for the North, the Waco Modocs. In the 8U in the South Division, the Killeen Wildcats. In the North, the RTYA Longhorns. And then in the 10U, we had the North, Waco Southern Panthers, the South, Killeen Co. Chiefs. And in the 12U, the North went to the Waco Southern Panthers, and the South to the Killeen Co. Chiefs. So those are our number one seeds going into playoffs. We kick off our playoffs next Saturday, and we have 4 rounds to get to that championship, which will be at Belton Tiger Stadium in Belton, Texas. That will take place on the 27th of November. So the semifinals will be great. We'll be there as well. We have 8 games on the 20th. Exciting if you're looking to see some great youth football. You get a great $8 ticket and come watch 8 youth football games at Belton Tiger Stadium. So can't beat that price by $1 a game.
No, not at all. And we've been out there. It's a really good setup. So come on out and support some of the youth. And again, congratulations to the cheer champions. And as the playoffs commence for all of the divisions for football.
And exciting also, I was coordinating. We're going to be at Clark County School District in Las Vegas. We'll be at Clark High School and Bonanza High School in Vegas, MLK weekend. That's where we're going to host the West Coast Nationals. So I'm excited about that. Teams from all over going to show up MLK weekend in Vegas and see who can take home that West Coast National Championship.
I love it. When you start talking about venues, we know we're close, Chico. All right, we got to ask you, who would be your favorite Halloween character to dress up as?
You ask that every year, and I don't have one. And you keep asking.
All right, how about favorite candy that you would like to have?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had a bag of that the other day. That would be those Reese's peanut butter cups, brother.
Oh,
there you go.
Right, okay, Chico, we got you.
Hey, hold on, in the refrigerator, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what some of the ethnics we do that. We keep it in the refrigerator. Thank you, Chico.
Chico, congratulations on a great season.
Bergerman are committed to treating chronic back pain and helping patients understand and make informed decisions about orthopedic treatment. They focus on using the latest techniques, medicines, and practices to give their patients the best treatment options to manage and overcome pain. Texas Spine Care Center is committed to helping San Antonio find the best choices that will give you your life back. So call 210-941-1785 or go to TexasSpineCareCenter.com. 210-941-1785.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great rates, we gave the song surprisingly great lyrics.
Here we go. It's so cheap. Yeah, got a great rate on the down low. 'Cause Jake isn't your average Joe. Hard to believe. Yeah, nobody does it like State Farm do. Never knew the rates were this low. Oh, they ain't that steep.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Gentlemen, now you can find the best brands and fits for you without even trying. Just follow these easy instructions. Step 1, shop a personalized store that does all the work for you by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2, level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
Cover 3 at Stone Oak in San Antonio is the place to be, whether you're looking to gather coworkers for lunch, dine with friends, or treat your sweetie to a fabulous dinner. This elegant restaurant offers ample seating with comfortable leather booths, tall cocktail tables, along with full-service dining at the bar, or you can enjoy a fun time out on the patio. So come to Cover 3 and experience dining, spirits, and sports.
Cover 3, 1806 North 1604 West, 210-479-9700.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Laying down the law. With Steve Foster, Rod Chico Tanner, and Ryan Willett.
It is hour number 2, and we are laying down the law. It is a Halloween edition of Laying Down the Law. And again, be safe. Some of y'all may have gone out last night. Hope all is well. The next gentleman that we have has been a guest before. And now maybe I get to ask this question. Would his Purple People Eaters been considered part of a Halloween horror flick back in the day as he was running up and down the green grass of a football field, and tremendous athlete from the running back position, the one and only, the one that I emulated first, number 44 from the Minnesota Vikings, Chuck Foreman. Chuck, good morning and welcome back.
Hey, good morning. How's everything down there in Texas?
Everything is well. We're sending one of your perennial foes up to the Twin Cities in the Dallas Cowboys, and
right.
I'm sure you, Chuck, have some memories about playing against the Dallas Cowboys in your illustrious career as a Viking.
Well, I had a lot of good ones and one horrible one.
Oh no!
You know what that is, right? Yeah.
Oh
okay.
no! Oh no!
Yeah,
You were part of that commencing 40 plus years ago. I didn't think about that, but that would make sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So that particular one play there made the Dallas Cowboys America's team. Otherwise, it would have been the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes, and
Yes,
tell us what were your thoughts after that? Was it bewilderment? Was it, I can't believe this happened? Drew pushed off. What were your thoughts?
Well, it was all of me. Obviously pushed off. I mean, today's game, it would have been called back because they didn't have all the, TV monitors and things like that in place. But, that was a shocker. That was one loss that will always stay there just because of the way it happened.
Right. And that being what is deemed in the first Hail Mary, as Roger Staubach said, that he just reared back and let it go.
Right. Yeah, and then Drew pushed off and caught the ball. He forgot to put that part in it.
Maybe one of our days we'll be able to get Drew and you on, Chuck.
Well, I think there was one station out of Texas that did have Drew and Nate Wright on at one time.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think that did happen. And then Nate was my roommate, so.
Oh man,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nate Wright is the defensive back for the Minnesota Vikings that
right.
was part of that play, and wow.
Yeah, so when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, they've had some great players over there, and I know a few, but when it comes down to the games themselves, we always play, I know, really good. I mean, he went into Texas and beat them once or twice, I don't know. Yeah, those games against the Cowboys were always, for me anyway, ones to remember.
Was it something that the Vikings said, when we play these guys, you brought a different perspective to the stadium and to that week of practice. I know Green Bay probably does the same thing, or probably even worse.
Well, Green Bay is a different story. That's like a border war. And in my time, before I got there, Green Bay was the dominant franchise in all of football. And when I got here, the Vikings were starting to become that, and that's a little different. When you're going right across the border to play Green Bay and from Minnesota, then to have some guys from Texas come in here and steal a game from you.
Well, it's funny because Chris is a Steelers fan, so that's even worse for you, I think. Maybe Chuck. So you got
Steelers. The Steelers wasn't like that. The Steelers beat us, but then we came back the following year on Monday Night Football and beat the crap out of them. Unfortunately, it wasn't the Super Bowl, but what it did tell me was that what I thought all the time was that we had a better squad than the Steelers, and
There you go. That's right.
Chuck, I don't know about that.
Oh no! Hey,
but you know what? I'll tell you what.
I guess you can say you can go back and check your. Actually, they probably still got some game film from that time. Go back and watch how much. You can go watch the game and then you'll see.
No, Chuck, I have a lot of respect for both teams. Those were great games. Those were when, in my estimation, that was when football was football.
Exactly.
And the game has changed now, and I contend, and Steve and I have had this conversation. I wonder if some of the players these days could have played the way they play back in the day when you played. I say no way.
I think they made the game safer, no question about it. But
true,
they've also made it, with all the guidelines and the rules and. Like the cornerbacks can't even. You blow your breath on a guy now, it's a penalty. Right. You touch a quarterback with your hands, it's a penalty. You look at all the penalties, both college and pros, and see it's kind of like ridiculous. I watched a couple games yesterday, and I'm like, this is crazy. Because you can't. You got the guys now afraid to execute their job, which is, you got the ball, I'm going to knock you out. Simple as that.
I agree. And as a defensive guy, it makes the game hard to play.
Yeah, they're coming at a guy at full speed, and then now they got to think about, of course, without the helmet, that's just something you were taught early, not to lead with your helmet, always lead with your shoulder. But
right.
But
that's not
that
new.
Was always no, that's not new. So. But the game has become that's why you can't compare stats of today's game to the era when I played.
Right.
There's just no way you can do that. It's not even fair to even compare it like that because there's so many things that they allow now, man. My God, I watch a game, it's just like, wow, this is crazy. So the game's changed. So like the word GOAT that they use, like greatest of all time. Say, I don't identify with that when it comes to football. We've had some great players come along, and let me tell you one thing. And I think all these guys are really good football players. But let me tell you something. I think I may have mentioned it to you before. I don't know, but I watched even when I was a kid. I saw this picture of this guy that played quarterback for the New York Giants. And his name was Y.A. Tittle. And they had a big picture of him. And he was on his knee. He was quarterback for the Giants. He was on the picture. He was on his knees in a playoff game, I think it was. And he was so beat up. His whole face was bloody. But that's the way that's the way the defense could attack a quarterback at times. You got the ball, you fair game. So, that word there is like needs to go out the door.
Well, Chuck, and we'll get a quick reset here. Talking to multiple Super Bowl performer and Rookie of the Year, running back for the Minnesota Vikings, and one of my favorites of all time, number 44, Chuck Foreman. Tell us about tonight. I think it's going to be, it's Halloween, it's raucous, it's your Minnesota Vikings against Dallas, and I can't ask for a better Sunday night game on a crazy night like Halloween. This one has to bring in. They're going to show the Hail Mary. You're going to be upset. They're going to be, this is going to be good theater this evening.
Well, it probably will be, but if you ask me, I'm going to tell you how the game is going to go. If Dallas's defense comes with pressure, then the Vikings are in deep trouble. But if Dalvin Cook gets going and our offensive line gives Cousins some time, you guys are going to have a long game. Unfortunately for us, they only been playing like 30% of the time on that level. So I don't know what you're going to get tonight, but if you put the pressure on, if the pressure gets to our quarterback, game over.
So what about the decision that Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys have to make, Chuck, about having Dak Prescott to play quarterback or Cooper Rush?
Well, if you have your backup in there, that's a whole nother story. But what I'm saying, if Dak is going to play, which I think he will, so the game is a whole totally different. It'll be a whole totally different, as far as I'm concerned. What they'll do offensively is going to be completely different. Because Dak Prescott this year has been, in my opinion, one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the game. So, he gets his guys to play at a different level. He makes the plays he's got to make. So, I don't know much about Cooper Rush. I think I saw him once a little bit in preseason.
And that's it, because that's I think all that he's really done since 2017. You're right. I think the other thing we want to not slide to the side is that Chuck Foreman ought to be given serious consideration for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's not, we can talk about Sir Francis Tarkington as the great, Howard Cosell would say it when you guys played on Monday nights and things of that nature. And you had Mick Tinglehoff and some other folks. But Chuck Foreman, I think you can't tell the story of pro football without Chuck Foreman. And to me, that's the level you need when you consider being a Hall of Famer. And of course, what you've done from your position and as a Rookie of the Year.
Well, I appreciate those compliments. And last week I come across this thing. It says all the people in the Hall of Fame that maybe shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And then I'm saying everybody in the Hall of Fame should be in the Hall of Fame. But what they did with that was they came out and they showed their stats and their accomplishments. They listed them, each one of these players that they thought were questionable about being in the Hall of Fame. And then I was looking and reading. I said, "Come on, wait a minute. There's something wrong with this picture." Some of these guys don't even have near the stats and accomplishments that I have, and they're in there. And so that made me feel good to know that, okay, I don't know how they vote, but I know, that Chuck Foreman has accomplished all he needs to be there. So that gave me some... made me smile a little bit.
Well, then I think now that you gotta create some bandwidth and some noise and get the stats and things. It's a process, and we were ecstatic.
It is. I'm not playing that game, man. If I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. It's all on film, and that's good enough for me, because I'm not going to get out there and beat my own horn, and no, I'm not with that.
Well, I hope that the people that recognize your accomplishments and recognize that your stand with or meet or exceed what is already in the Hall, especially in that NFC North now and in that area of Minnesota, which is, a good strong franchise of the NFL. Somebody does take heed and recognize, wait a minute, I may not have seen this guy play, but he seems pretty. Look at his stats. Look, he's been in Super Bowls, and he was the starting guy and the Rookie of the Year. And how did we miss this guy? And sometimes,
you know what? But there's something you missing too. 2-time Player of the Year, 75 and 76. You forgot about that.
Yes.
So there you go. That's a little bit more that you need to know about. But I'm telling you because ain't nobody else telling you or something. But it's all there, and black and white.
I tell you,
color too.
In color, it was, and I tell you that picture that you saw of me wearing the 44 for the Little Vikings when I played at Album Park was 1976. So I was emulating the Player of the Year with my spin move. That's the one that always stuck with me. Is catch the ball and do the spin move. And it worked in high school too, because Chris tried to do it, tried to tackle me in high school, and I put the same Chuck Foreman spin move that we did Album Park 10 years prior to that. It still worked in high school.
Well, I appreciate all those compliments, especially what you've been saying about, man. See, those kind of compliments about people that know what they're talking about. That's good enough for me. So,
well, Chuck, that's a measure of a man, in my opinion. You know what your accomplishments are. We know what your accomplishments are. Those of us who watched the game and enjoyed the game back when you played, back when football was football, we know what you did. We appreciate what you did, and we will always, always push for you to be up in the Hall of Fame where you deserve to be.
Well, I greatly appreciate it, gentlemen, and it's a compliment. Like I said, I told you before, I'm in a good place. So that's all I can say about that.
Well, we appreciate it very much. So
Okay.
Thank you. And great to hear from you. And we're looking forward to the game tonight on Sunday Night Football.
All right. Well, call me back afterwards and let me know what you think. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to say this to you. If you guys don't put pressure on Kirk Cousins, he can dial into every throw that you can throw in the game of football. Now, I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Like I said, unfortunately, he didn't get the protection and stuff that he needs to do that all the time. But if they don't come with that pressure, you guys might have a long day.
Well, you heard it here first from the great Chuck Foreman, number 44 Minnesota Vikings. And again, not only Rookie of the Year, but 2-time NFL Player of the Year as well. We appreciate you. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Chuck. We appreciate it. Chuck Foreman.
All right. Thank you.
You're
All right.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. We'll be back. Stay with us. More to come on Laying Down the Law right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM, 1250, 94.5 FM.
San Antonio has 2 Hop Dottie locations. Hi, I'm Steve Foster. One at the Rim and the new location at the Vineyard, 1301 North Loop, 1604 West. And the initial San Antonio location at 17623 La Cantera Parkway, Suite 101 at the Rim. Different and delicious burgers, but fresh and all-natural ingredients. Hop Dottie also has handcrafted milkshakes and hand-cut Kennebuck fries. So get to a Hop Dottie in San Antonio. When burger is life, life is awesome.
Panera believes in saying yes. Yes to clean, fresh ingredients. Yes to the new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread topped with rich mozzarella. Yes to delicious mac and cheese. Yes to putting it on a sandwich, creating the grilled mac and cheese sandwich. And yes to impromptu road trips to Sandwich, Illinois. Because that's living life to the flavor fullest. Get $1 delivery when you order on our app. Panera. Live your yes. Pricing and product availability may vary. Visit PaneraBread.com.
Hey y'all, I'm Grant Pinkerton of Pinkerton's Barbecue in downtown San Antonio. We only smoke prime meats with a blend of post oak and mesquite. Come see us for some of those giant beef ribs, tender brisket, and a cold big red. We have a Texas-sized bar, great selection of bourbon, and tons of local beers. I love sports, so we have plenty of screens to watch them on. We're open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner or until we sell out. Come early, come hungry, and stay late.
Hey, sports bettors, I'm talking to you. This is Rob Thompson here to tell you about my favorite sports book. That's BetUS. Football's here. You need to be playing it. It's been a great couple of weeks. Why not start now? Well, BetUS is the best place to start because they've been around for 25 years. That's the integrity I'm looking for with the longevity. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, you name it. They've got it. To join, it's so easy. Call today, 1-800-79-BET-US. Again, 1-800-79-BET-US. And when you dial it, remember this, KZDC. If you tell them KZDC, that's us, you're going to get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody does that. I bet at BetUS, so should you. I want you to join BetUS.com today. Call them right now. Start betting with America's favorite sportsbook. And remember to use KZDC for up to 200% in bonuses. BetUS.com. It's where the game begins.
Hi, everyone. Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
Laying Down the Law is brought to you by Texas Spine Care Center, Cover 3 San Antonio, Coordinated Financial Group, and Hop Dottie Burger Bar.
We're back. We are Laying Down the Law. He's Chris Fernandez. I am Steve Foster. And we'll take a quick look at the kind of new projected AP college football rankings. And not much change at the top, Chris, but there are some teams sneaking in the top 10. Notre Dame jumping in. Wake Forest, the Fighting Tim Duncans. You know, you think about basketball there. Michigan drops from 6 to 8. Oregon stays at 7. Ohio State, they drop in the rankings after beating Penn State. Makes no sense to me. Michigan State, though, ahead of them. Oklahoma, Alabama, Cincy, and Georgia. So with this first BCS or college football playoff championship coming out Tuesday, who is in your top 4? You see, that's why you had the mic off.
That's why I had the mic off.
Yeah, because nobody's going to go for that. Yeah, you know, they thought I was crazy about saying that UTEP could possibly go to a Power 5. That's one thing, but in the top 5, that's crazy. You are crazy.
Yes, I know. I was kind of kidding because I am proud of the UTEP Miners. They are 62.
They almost made the comeback yesterday against Florida Atlantic. Only lost by 3, but they were down and they were on the road. So the program is looking up in El Paso. But who would be your top 4 in college football? And then give me that 5th one that just misses out.
Well, you know, you always got to go with Alabama.
No, you don't. You can go with Georgia. They're number 1.
Well, and those two teams, you know, are always in the mix. I have a hard time going past number 3. I mean, I put either Alabama, Georgia on top. I always like to see Michigan up there.
Well, they lost.
But they lost. I don't know. You kind of stumped me there, Steve.
Well, hey, Cincinnati's number 2 in the country. You don't put them in the top 4. They're undefeated.
They are, and playing good football. I could put them in the top 3, top 4.
Okay, and then are we gonna do anything for Oklahoma?
I always like to see a Big 12 team up there, and if I was going to put any of the Big 12 up there, I'd put Oklahoma.
Yeah,
They played outstanding yesterday against Texas Tech. But I mean,
they did what they're supposed to do, right?
Yes, they went in there and they won the way they're supposed to win.
So what I'm hearing is Georgia, Alabama, Cincinnati, and OU.
OU.
I can live with that. I'm good with that. Now you put Alabama over Cincinnati in ranking of those four?
No.
You put Alabama where? 3?
I put Alabama 3. I put Cincinnati maybe 2.
Right.
And then Oklahoma down on 4.
Okay. And then we'd have to say from there, 5 and 6 would be Michigan and Ohio State.
I could go with that.
I mean, Michigan State and Ohio State.
Michigan State.
Michigan
You said
State
Michigan. Michigan State and Ohio State. Yes.
Mm-hmm. They're the outside looking in.
For a short time. I mean, you never know. I mean, when you get to
right.
It's a whole different season then.
Right. Well,
what about you? Where do you agree, or do you have a different top 4?
I'm there. I'm with you on that. I can comfortably do that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I could you put Ohio State ahead of Oklahoma? Could you put Michigan State ahead of Oklahoma?
That when you get down to the bottom 4 or 5, there's a lot of different teams that could.
Yeah, that make your neck hurt.
Yeah,
because
you'll be twisting all day.
All day on that one.
Yeah.
I think I keep Michigan State and Ohio State knocking.
Neck and neck.
I put them knocking. I put them 5 and 6. So if somebody messes up, if Cincinnati were to lose, Michigan State or Ohio State's jumping in there.
Easy.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
I don't see Alabama slipping any rest of the season. So they're probably entrenched, and I don't know if Oklahoma slips. I think it's Cincinnati that's going to have to. Unfortunately, they're the ones that everybody's waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Right. And that's normal. I mean, you have an undefeated team and they're playing the way they're playing. People are going to wait for that to happen. And whether it does or it doesn't, I'm not sure what the rest of their season looks like.
Well, this is why you got to expand. You got to put more teams in there. I never understood this because, Chris, if you had 3 kids and you were coming home for Christmas and you only had 2 gifts, how would you deal with that in your home? That makes no sense. They call it the Power 5, but you only have 4 slots.
Right.
It didn't make any sense. You should have had 5, 1 for each conference, and then the 6th one would have been that and the other team that we can include here. So we got 3 teams playing.
Yes, I absolutely agree. It's never made sense to me the way that they do it. They need to expand and add.
So to 6 to 8. What's your
6,
expansion?
I think 6 is a good number.
They're going to probably get more than that.
You think so?
I think they go 8 to 12. 8 to
12.
Yeah, because it could be 10. I don't know, but I think you got to have 8.
8 could work. 8 would work better than it'd give more opportunity than 6, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think there's enough teams that could do it. You know, and you'd have some good quality football.
Yeah. I mean, FCS does it. The championship, they do it, formerly known as 1AA, but they do it every year. Different setup, and I get that. That's why you can't do as wide probably a playoff as they do, but I can live with 8. As we also as a little kid did, we watched 8 is enough.
8 is enough.
We could do that as well. Childhood is very meaningful. People don't realize how your childhood, I think, really affects you moving forward. And that's why we said with Drew Stubbs, thanks for having him on, is to play as many sports. Did you hear him? He says he's a professional baseball player,
Oh, yeah.
but that wasn't the sport that he really spent the most time on. We can't emphasize it enough from the professional athletes that come on this show to tell you, don't do that to your kid, please.
Absolutely.
Please give them opportunity in a variety of things.
I agree. And I've coached several student athletes that played baseball 9 months out of the year.
I don't even want to do that.
No, and why? And now,
And I love baseball, but I don't want to. No.
Exactly, and that I can think of. I don't think any of them play baseball anymore.
They got burned out.
Agreed. Or they don't play at the level they were expected to play at, which is fine. But baseball. That's why every sport had a season, and we played them during those seasons. I agree. Play as many as you can.
All right, we're going to step aside. We are laying down the law. We're going to come back on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
I know, frightening.
Where's your sense of fun? Halloween is about candy, trick-or-treating, and the evil laughs that go, whoa.
Boo! Here's your paycheck.
Now that's scary.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your wall start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899.
Nigel, just like I tell my kids, always check the candy before you eat it.
Joel, look, I've got a costume for you too.
That's a giant bolt.
Exactly. Joel Frederickstein. Get it? Frederickstein. Whoa, your face looks creepy mad. That's the spirit.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number M13229 TACLA 000743458.
It's that time of year again when Smoky Mo's Barbecue is gearing up to smoke Thanksgiving turkeys for our neighbors in the San Antonio area. Each turkey will be made using our secret rub and smoked to perfection in-house. You can buy it solo or with our feast that includes sweet potato casserole, cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, and a delicious pumpkin pie from Tootie Pies. Pre-order at SmokyMo'sBarbecue.com or by calling your store. Don't dawdle. We sell out every year. Happy Smoke Turkey Day, y'all, from Smoky Mo's Barbecue.
How's your cell phone coverage? How's your cell phone bill? You know, a lot of big carriers overcharge you for unlimited data. They brag about coverage, but that's only if you live in the city. This is Greg Akagi. I've been an agriculture director for over 20 years, and I know what people outside the city need. Pure Talk. Pure Talk gives you great 5G coverage for about half of what Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge you. The average family saves over $800 a year. You can keep your number and keep your phone, or save on the latest iPhones and Androids. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. Or if you want unlimited data, you can still save a fortune. With their U.S.-based customer service, I believe in the way Pure Talk treats their customers. Plus, they have a 30-day risk-free guarantee, so you literally have nothing to lose. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say half off, and you'll save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 and say half off.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill serves great cooking with an innovative take on classic American comfort food. For over 10 years now, Chuck and Larry have delighted appetites and presented one of the best Sunday brunches ever at 303 Red River in Austin. Go by and enjoy some corn dog shrimp, cornflake chicken salad, boiled rainbow trout, and all my favorites and more. Moonshine classic American comfort food. And of course, when you see Chuck and Larry, tell them Foss said hello. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill.
Laying Down the Law is brought to you by Texas Spine Care Center, Cover 3 San Antonio, Coordinated Financial Group, and Hop Dottie Burger Bar.
We're back. It is a Halloween edition of Laying Down the Law. Chris Fernandez, Steve Foster. We go back to the phone lines to talk to one of my peers, and she's done a lot with the NFL. She's also a great athlete in her own right. Track star, loves football. She'd be a heck of a wide receiver, I think, or maybe even running back. She may mirror her Saints, Alvin Kamara. And that is the one and only Amanda Howard. Amanda, welcome back. And we got to know, who would you be for Halloween?
Good morning. I would actually be a cornerback. I don't have hands like that to be a wide receiver, but I can get there.
Okay.
I can get there. See the ball coming out there, but I'm not a wide receiver. That's just not who I am. Maybe running back.
But you probably want to hit somebody. You probably wanted to hit me a few times in the studio, so I get you. I'm with you on that. Yeah. Much, I did it to myself, but that's okay. But who would you be for Halloween, Amanda? A saint?
Of course. I would be Marshawn Lattimore. That's just,
there we go.
My cornerback of choice. Some games it's hit or miss, but when he's on, and we're going to need him to be on today. So I would definitely be Marshawn Lattimore.
Thomas P. Brady, you're getting ready to see him live and in color. You are on the road today in New Orleans, and it's going to, I think, Jameis Winston going to have an opportunity to really see if he can get next level. He's going against his former team of not so long ago, a season removed. And I think this is a great matchup. Leans Tom Brady, the visitors, but, you get the Heisman Trophy running back in your backfield with Kamara, Ingram coming back from the Texans. And I just think people will be jazzed up to go against Tom Brady.
Yeah, this has the potential to be an excellent game. Would it look like the games that we played against them last season? No. And I don't think it's more of an issue between Drew Brees and Jameis. It's more of an issue with our offensive line. And we have some players still out. Taysom Hill still hasn't came back from his concussion. We're still missing probably Dante Harris. But we're missing some key in Michael Thomas. So we're missing some key factors in our offense that could help send us over the edge. I definitely think that our defense can be just as competitive as it was last year. We are missing some pieces from last year just because of the cap space, but I think we can get it done. We've seen what happened last year when Brady ended up panicking. You put some pressure on Brady, he started making some mistakes. And for some reason, Mike Evans does not do well against Marshawn Lattimore. So I think that would be a fun and entertaining matchup.
All right. So what about the secondary and tertiary pieces of these two teams? The Godwins, the Antonio Browns, the Leonard Fournette. He's coming back home. It's a homecoming for the former LSU Tiger running back. Shouldn't he be excited? He's played numerous games in this stadium. And, I think the balance of the Bucs could be problematic for the Saints today. I think it's one of the better matchups of the day. And glad to see that you'll be able to enjoy that. What's your take on playing a guy like Dak Prescott versus the Vikings tonight?
I'm going to have to go with, if Dak actually plays tonight, I would have to go with Dallas. You know me, that's hard for me to say. But I think I also hate Minnesota a lot more than Dallas for obvious reasons. But
You're the nicest, hateful person at times I have ever known. You just are. You have an air of princessship, even
she says
when
it
you
so
don't.
gracefully,
Yes,
Steve.
she does. You almost feel like, Oh, okay.
Well, that
She
was nice.
doesn't like me, but that's okay. She just doesn't like me, and it's all right because we're in the same division. And
I'm trying to be tactful here. I mean, Stephon Diggs has gone on from his Minnesota Miracle days, and, we're going to let him do what he needs to do. But I think the way that Dallas has been playing, Minnesota is the type of, you watch their games, even the games where they lost, they were close games. So Minnesota is more of a thing. If they get clicking and for some reason Dallas defense lets them get clicking, then Minnesota might pull out that game. But if Dallas comes out there swinging and Diggs plays the way that he's been playing, I think he can cause some disruption. So I could see this going Dallas way, but that all comes down to if Dak is playing. So for us, going back to the Tampa game, Antonio Brown is out. And
that's right. That's right. I just looked. Yep. I just looked at. I apologize. Yep.
So we're not really worried about that because that's his favorite. And then Gronk is still out from what I believe. So, I mean, both teams offensively has some gaps. So I think when you come down to it, it's going to be not only the quarterback, can he get his offense into his leadership, which we already know Tom Brady can do. Jameis is working on that. But I also think it's going to come down to the crafting of the plays. And Sean Payton, he does that on a regular. So I think we can pull this out, but I don't think it's a shoo-in win for either team. It's really going to come down to making sure both sides of the ball are playing at all times. So that is what it is. But, I mean, I think that today is going to be a very interesting game. I'm happy to see it. I'm ready to go. We're going to go to the tailgate soon. So I am ready.
Yeah, get you some beignets, as Booger McFarland was talking about. Had too many beignets. That's all I was hearing yesterday, listening to college football and having some commentary. What about a guy, before we let you go, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City? You can get very insightful. What do you think about the Chiefs? Are they just have the wheels come off?
You know what? I don't think so. But what I do think so is that they're going to have to step back and re-examine the team. Because if you think about it, they really haven't lost the main pieces that have made them click. And to be honest with you, Chiefs defense has been lacking for like the last couple of seasons, even when they won the Super Bowl. So they haven't been stellar like when they had Houston and Eric Berry. And so they've been making it work. Just now we're starting to see the cracks in the puzzle. And so I was reading up and I saw how they're upset with their fan base. They're like, these are the most fair weather fan base. Yes, you guys won, a Super Bowl 2 years ago. But look at Philly's fan base. They're fed up with their recent Super Bowl winners too. So, it's like what people say, you have to show up every single day. Like, this is a game that you have to play, that you can't just save up on the good nature of the team. Fans want to see a winning team. And for the life of me, I have not figured out what the breakdown is on the Chiefs team, but they need to figure it out. Their bye week can't come quick enough for them. And I know that they have one of the later bye weeks, but they need to figure out something quick.
Fair enough. Well, maybe you can give us a report on your experience in the Superdome with Tom Brady, Jameis Winston, and the rest of the gang. But the quarterbacks are definitely going to make it work. They're going to stir the drink, I think, today in that one, as Jameis battles his former team, and Tom Brady comes in again and sees what he can get done. But he's been playing at a clip, 4 and 5 touchdowns a pop. This guy, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody just so nonchalantly get on his game as so smoothly as Tom Brady. And love him or hate him, he is still who he is, and he's looking for another Super Bowl. So keep us posted, Amanda. It's great to have you on the show as always. Hopefully we can get you on either StreamYard, or I think we're actually allowed back in studio, so we may get a chance to do that as well. But technology has been keeping us rolling. So be safe, enjoy your tailgating, and we'll catch up with you soon.
All right. Enjoy your Sunday.
All right. Happy Halloween. All right, we're going to step aside, finish strong. We got fantasy games going. The fantasy gods, who knows what gods they dress up as. I don't even know what the names of fantasy gods would be. But it doesn't matter. They're going to come on next at 11. We're going to step aside and come right back. We are laying down the law on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250. Texas Spine Care Center and Dr. Adam Brueggemann are committed to treating chronic back pain and helping patients understand and make informed decisions about orthopedic treatment. They focus on using the latest techniques, medicines, and practices to give their patients the best treatment options to manage and overcome pain. Texas Spine Care Center is committed to helping San Antonio find the best choices that will give you your life back. So call 210-941-1785 or go to TexasSpineCareCenter.com. 210-941-1785.
Welcome to Texas, where the sun is beaming down and can damage the interior of your car, even in lower temperatures. Unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo since 1984.
1984? That's impressive.
Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. San Antonio and Austin stores. MothersWindowTint.com.
Remember, do it at Mother's and save!
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole, and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Laying Down the Law is brought to you by Texas Spine Care Center, Cover 3 San Antonio, Coordinated Financial Group, and Hop Dottie Burger Bar.
We're back. We're laying down the law. He is Chris Fernandez. And again, we are laying down the law. It's Halloween, man. You're going to be Superman. I'm going to be Spider-Man. You know, actually, Dish Falk is having a scrimmage, and they're having, if you dress up the youngsters, you can interact with the team.
Nice.
So, Waddy, we're getting ready. We're going to make some moves. You know what, Chris? I hate to say this, I'm telling on myself, but I don't stay at the house to hand out the candy. I haven't gotten there yet.
You know, I used to hand out the candy and I that's what I did, because my daughter and I are both the same. We're not Halloweeners, you know, and so we would hand out the candy.
I like that. That just hit me.
And teenagers, I get teenagers, and a lot of them were students that I knew, that I've coached, that have grown up, and I was like, "What are you dressed as? A kid? Get out of here!"
You don't want to give them no Snicker bar.
You don't want to give them one
no Milky
candy.
Way.
Come on, Mr. Fernandez.
You want to give them Three Musketeers. Those were the three staples.
Oh yeah,
Three Musketeers, Milky Way, Snickers.
And you got to give the full size.
You have to. You
got to
like
do
that.
the full size. Oh yeah, you got to give the full size.
No,
Yeah.
you get the minis and you get 3 of each. You get the minis. You get
Is that
the
how you do
Reese's.
it? I was always a
I'm
full-size guy.
variety. I'm a variety guy, but I'm a fan of candy corn.
Are you?
Yes, big fan of candy corn. Probably became the husky kid that I was off of
Eating candy
Way
corn,
too
and I
much-
just
way too much candy, but
too
I loved
sweet
it.
for me. They're
Too
like
sweet?
Butterfingers. I love Butterfingers, but they're just too
I
sweet.
can't get with the Bart. I can't get with the Bart Simpson Butterfingers.
I'll tell you though, I
I'll eat them
read
in a pinch.
in a
but
pinch.
They kind of
They stick to your teeth.
yeah.
Yeah. I read the other day Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes.
The number one candy that likes to be given and received for Halloween is the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
And you
Here
say
we go.
because they're an orange.
I gotta play it, man. I gotta do it one more time. I'm feeling it.
Turn that
Hey,
off.
Texas group, man.
Hey, I have to say this. A big shout out to my buddy Troy, Coach Cockburn from the Liberty Hill 5th and 6th grade boys, winning the championship over the Bernie Bulldogs yesterday. A big whopping 24-0. So congratulations to the Liberty Hill Panthers.
Congratulations. That purple rocking and rolling.
Purple and gold.
Listen, this year Halloween fell on a weekend. Laying down and I was trick-or-treating. Robbing little kids for bags. Till this old man got behind our rags.
Can Edwin mute you?
Yeah, he probably could. I just needed that, man. It fell on a weekend. They're from Texas. Rest in peace, Bushwick Bill. That's a great line. This year, Halloween fell on a weekend.
Yeah.
Me and laying down was trick or treating. You know, come on, man.
Okay.
I'm trying. You're right. You're not impressed. You don't care.
No. I've heard you sing.
No, that was rap, man.
Well, same.
No. Do not have me sing. That you'll get. Yeah, that's a bad move.
I've heard you sing in the truck. It's not good.
It's not good.
No.
It's not good. No, sir. I agree with you. You can't have every box checked.
That's
right?
true. Mhm.
Like Amanda said, she'd play corner because she can't catch. Okay.
There you go.
You got to know the limits. But this one, the rap, the lyrics, yeah, I can do that. It's a whole different deal than trying to sing.
Agreed.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what do you agree that it's going to be a good fantasy game between you and me?
You know,
Pack?
I was looking at the percentages, and yes, we are. We're pretty well matched. I actually went over my team this week early on, and I made some moves, moved some people around, and picked up some folks. See, you taught me. You remember?
Right? Is this gonna be like my dad says, the same thing? Make me laugh, make me cry. Maybe I should have waited till I played.
You should have waited. Exactly. Remember, I beat Paul Greco.
You sure did. And,
I
and
did.
you know what? Carry that like he carries it against me.
I will.
Throughout the whole year.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
I do appreciate you for that. I don't want to lose to you because you did that service to us. And you shut him up on Twitter. That was crazy. He didn't say one word. That makes no sense. Because he usually has something. I mean, Dean didn't say anything. That'd be Dean Kane. He's also he's Bill's Mafia. And you can go to Laying Down the Law FF for fantasy football and see the standings. And humbly, I'm moving along in line for a playoff position, a spot in the playoffs. So
regretfully, I am not.
But you said you learned a lot this season.
I did. It's my rookie year, and I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah. What you don't like about a guy who played Superman on TV, as you said, that would be your costume of choice for Halloween. Dean won the league in his first year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, did he let you live that, or has he let you live that down?
Well, it's a different story now that I actually won last season.
Okay.
It's a little different story. Because he says, well, even though he's got 2 trophies and championships, at least I have one now. And Stephania Bell has won twice as well. So
Okay.
he and it's rough living, hanging around Princetonians. But it's our color scheme. The Bengals, the Browns in orange, Broncos. Not a fan, but they might be able to pull it off. And again, Astros orange. We got to get them at least to a game 6.
Yes, got to get them up to game at least, because we can't let them just get swept.
No. I mean, they won one game, but we need more. We need more baseball. Bregman, I saw a deal not hitting well. We need to get him back. Alvarez, Correa. This may be the last time we see Carlos Correa in an Astros uniform. So that's something to be considered as well. But here we go. Texans going to have a tough go today as they take on the Rams, as we mentioned, and then the Cowboys and Vikings Sunday night. Hats off to Chuck Foreman. We need to. He's content, and I like that. But he needs to be one of those. He needs to be in the bust room, not just as a visitor.
Absolutely agree with you. Just one of the greatest running backs in my estimation that ever played the game, and played the game when it was rough, when it was a tough game to play. And absolutely belongs to have his head in a bust in the Hall of Fame very soon.
Yeah. Well, we certainly will talk about it. We think that it's more than just notable. So we appreciate everybody listening. If you go out, be safe. If tonight's the night for you, watch what your kids receive. That's an unfortunate deal. Even back to when we did it, you had to take it easy. Thanks to all of our guests. Thanks to Edwin in the studio producing, and everybody and the listeners. Be safe. We want to hear from you as we step into November. So do the dang thing, and happy Halloween. From
Happy Halloween
us to y'all.